Hey, Picks and Parlay family, it's me, Detroit Lenny here on a Monday, Victory Monday, as we like to call it around these parts. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So we got lots to talk about, to be honest with you. We're going to go over some college stuff as well. I want to bring in here, I want to see who won the college contest. You guys are going to like, share, subscribe. If you're new to the channel, drop in comment sections what you're into today or questions about any games. Feel free to drop that in the, and I apologize, my window's open if somebody drives by. Goofy. Feel free to drop comments in the section there. I'm going to look right now to see who won the let's see, let's just go here, and then we go here and pick them, pick them. Groups. Group. And what am I looking at? Group picks. Looks like we got Chris Jackson. Can't be the Chris Jackson, but yeah, you never know. 8 and 10, or 8 out of 10. 8 and 2. Looks like everybody had Illinois, and that didn't work out. Good news. I didn't put my plays in. But there were some other people that were 7 and 3. Captain Brian Gillihan, Robert Harrison, and then a lot that were 6 and 4. Like a lot. So we got that down. Boom, pow, boom, shakalaka. We haven't looked at the NFL contest. I'll be honest with you, I haven't looked at that contest all week. It was a late night for your boy. Oh, I got a shirt that I wanted to put on for you guys. Hold on. I have it on. See this one pride? Hold on. Calm down, ladies. I'm taking. I forgot it's a shirt. Hot off the presses. Can't even see it. It's not high enough. On my desk. Hold on. Maybe shit. And there we go. Make sure I get that there. Kings of the North. Kings of the North. Kings of the North. Stop. I just wanted to wear that there and, kind of rub it in a little better. I don't know. Kind of felt like I was rubbing it in. I don't know if I should be rubbing it in, but I feel like it should be higher too. Like, I feel like it's a little low. My wife makes my shirts like I want them across my boobies, or her like she does for hers. I don't. I want them here. Whatever. Anyway, Green Bay sucks. Speaking of, we're gonna recap some stuff. Talk about tonight's game as well. Results. Week 9. Oh, dang, Uncle. 2 hips on that 4-1. Seems like there's a few 4-1s. Uncle 2 hips. Garrett Adams. Eddie Lance. R. Harrison. I don't know. Because you guys can't put just like a, Bob. You remember whatever. Nope, that was it. Jason Spurley, DJ Allen, or David Allen. I could go 4-1. I was wrong on the Buffalo game. Pissed me off. I thought they'd cover that, but whatever. It is what it is. So I was wrong on the Buffalo game. And what else did I have wrong? And that's it. I had Cincy. I had Arizona. I had my Lions. And then for shits and giggles tonight, I picked Tampa Bay. That's what I did. I picked Tampa. There's a couple there's one other person picked Tampa and two other people picked Kansas City. I think I'm the only one though. If that wins, I would be 4-1. So if I'm 4-1 there, we got a hodgepodge of people at 4-1, and then we're gonna have to go down to the totals. What do you want?
I mean, I got a text. Someone said that there was nudity on the screen, so I had to join in.
Oh God, who? I took my shirt off. I took my hoodie off to reveal my T-shirt that my wife made me. And yeah, I was just saying. So I don't know. Snitches get stitches. Just saying. Whoever.
What a week, huh? Congratulations on the Lions.
How about that, huh? How about that shirt? Oh, it's so great.
I mean, I like the under. If you remember, we filmed that. I like the under. I mean, they scored on defense and they still got the under. Usually you score a defense.
You kicked the best safety out in the league, and the second best safety got a pick six on your ass. So which I don't believe he needed to be ejected for.
It was one of those who else, like Cooper or Puka Nacua. I thought he did kind of punch the guy, but it wasn't like he got pushed first. So I kind of thought that
I mean, I just think that was it maybe a late hit, or in today's NFL? Yeah, it's probably a penalty. Sure. Okay. I was willing to accept that, but then I don't know why. Then they just escalated it, and it seemed like that was going to be the beginning of the end, and it was not. So
well, here's my question as a Lions guy. I know it's hard always when your team's involved to be like, you know what I mean, like to put that aside. The Chiefs win tonight, which they're a big favorite, and they stay undefeated. And the Lions, obviously, this is the team they actually lost to, the Bucs.
Yeah.
Where does is it 1-2 Chiefs Lions, you think? Or I mean, obviously they're in opposite division, so we won't know until
I mean, I think we're the best team in the NFC. I think we are the number one team in the NFC.
I don't even know who number 2 would be now, to be honest.
Listen, I think Philly, I'm just pulling up their standings actually right now, because
I still think Green Bay is probably the second best team, but the problem is when you're automatically the second best team in your league, now they're going to have to be on the road for all the games.
They're on the road the whole way.
That's going to be extremely tough. I'll tell you, the team that really probably should have beat them early in the year, remember they lost in overtime, was the Rams. The Rams getting healthy that was a gutty win.
Yeah.
To win on the road in Seattle, not easy, was my best bet of the day. So that was a nice win. I had the Bengals and them as my two best bets.
I had the Bengals too.
That was nice. But the AFC, I think is you could probably put 3 or 4 teams. Like you could say, hey, these 3 or 4 teams in the Super Bowl right now.
Yeah,
it's the Lions. Like the 49ers are completely banged up. I would say the Rams and the Eagles are the next best 2 teams. I still don't like. I know Washington's a great story. Great story.
Man, oh man.
It's almost like that Washington team reminds me of the Lions 2 years ago, where it's
I was going to say a year or two ago. Yeah. So what happens when history repeats itself and the Lions and the Commanders, well, it would be now, play in the NFC Championship in Detroit.
One game above? Commanders are 1 game above the Eagles?
1 game, yeah. They're both 1-7-2, 1-6-2.
Yeah, I mean, whoever wins that division obviously going to end up with the home field edge. So, I would give them the edge. But those are I still think the Rams are I think the Rams are going to win the West unless the 49ers. I think McCaffrey, I've heard some rumblings that might be here coming back in the next 2 weeks.
After the bye week, yeah.
They're a different team. We seen last year they were a different team when they had him. But remember when they had him, they also had Brandon Ayuk. He's not coming back anytime soon. So trade deadline's tomorrow. Lions still need a pass rusher. Is there anybody out there that you got your eye on that you want? Like the old Sears catalog wish list that you like.
For sure. I mean, I got
obviously Myles Garrett, but
I mean, it is Christmas, right? I have a Christmas
Crosby
list.
and Myles Garrett aren't leaving. Let's just say those two. So
Myles Garrett, it's fine. I'm not giving up the world for
neither one of those two.
Over the hill kind of thing. The Max Crosby thing's not going to happen, or it would have. I think Zadarius Smith or whatever. I think he's a real possibility. I think that could fit, because I do hear rumblings in Detroit that, depending on how deep we get, Aiden Hutchinson will be back for possibly NFC.
I heard it could be limited.
Yeah, limited or whatever. So, I mean, I don't think it's not a career.
I mean, obviously, Saints firing their coach today. You got to think Saints, everybody's available, I'm guessing, for the Saints.
Yeah.
The Raiders didn't fire their coach, but they fired everybody else, it seems like, today. You got to think, other than Crosby, I'd say a lot of players are up. And then I heard the Giants, some players.
I keep hearing about the Jadeveon Clowney, and I didn't want them to. The Lions had an opportunity to draft him, and they went a different route, and I was happy with that, because I didn't think he was great, and he hasn't been great. Like, they came, they just hyped so many people up in the NFL draft. Nobody does better.
But I don't think
in any sports, the NFL draft, though, that hypes somebody up so much. And then, he's an average D tackle.
But I think they need somebody that could, just like the hired gun pass rusher. Von Miller a few years ago, remember what he was?
They need that guy, for sure.
That type of, when you have that and you're up, they're always up. It just changes the game. It makes it so much easier for your defense. So I would say they're obviously a buyer because Hutchinson being down. The Chiefs obviously sounds like they're still out there looking for potentially some receiver help, even getting Hopkins, which I was a little surprised that once they got Hopkins, I kind of thought that would be it. Yeah. But I don't think they're selling the farm for anybody.
That's another thing. I want everybody, but I don't want to get crazy. I don't want to, I want Max Crosby. Sure, he's at the top of the list, but I don't want to give up.
Yeah, no, you're right.
You're going to have to give up 2 firsts.
Yeah. And then like the Ravens, I think they're the most complete team in football. So I don't think the Ravens will be making a ton of moves. I actually think my Bengals, maybe,
really?
Maybe. They need some help on defense. Like, their offense, especially, they win without T. Higgins. When T. Higgins is there, this is the best offense in football, probably, especially passing offense. Now, they could maybe use a running back. Like, Moss was out this week. I think some depth there, and running backs aren't that expensive to get. So, maybe somebody's looking to unload a little bit of salary.
And you can always use depth at that position.
Yeah, because guys are always injured. But I don't it's not a team that the Bengals have a lot of financial hardships coming when they pay Jamar Chase this year in the offseason, and they're already paying, it would have to be someone that's short term this year, and they basically could cut him after this year, or very, guy that's not.
That's what I think we're all hoping for a D end is just somebody that I can get on a 1 year, maybe a 2.
Because they're in the same boat. Every good team's in the same boat.
Absolutely. They just want a guy, they ain't got a lot of money.
You're going to have to pay guys.
Do have money.
You guys are going to be paying, all these great players.
St. Brown, Jamari Gibbs, David McCollum.
These guys are going to get paid. It's just when you have good years, that's, Hutchinson's going to be due here soon.
Hutchinson.
So it's you can't, you got to know what's coming down the line. So I don't think there's any of those really good teams that are going to sell the future, but I do think there's going to be teams that are trying to gather draft picks. Raiders, Saints. Yeah. I'm not sure that the Dolphins aren't going to be doing the same thing. I'm not saying you got to blow it up, but you're two. There's what? How is all? I
think the Raiders are about to blow it up.
There's 9 teams. Is it right? There's 9 teams, either 2-6 or 2-7. Is that right? How is that possible? I don't even know how that's possible.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 teams. I thought 9 teams that are either.
Someone told me this, and I said it's impossible. There has to be more teams with more than 2 wins, because you got to play each other sometimes.
Right.
It's just, there's a lot.
In the AFC, that's it's the Bills and then a vast drop off. between, the Jets, Dolphins, and the Pets. And then there's the Steelers and the Baltimore right there. 6-2, 6-3, drop off. Houston, then a drop off.
Let's remember the Bengals had Ravens beat, they had the Chiefs beat. If you flip those two games, the Bengals are leading the division. Like, the Bengals have lost so many close games. I really feel like they're there. Now, they play on a short week in Baltimore this week. Very tough spot, especially if T. Higgins can't go. On a team that struggled, although they were up 10 points with 8 minutes to go, and they lost in overtime. So I actually think this is a good spot for the Bengals, because if you have to face Henry and those guys on a full week, what I mean?
That's hard.
Yeah, maybe Henry's a little banged up. That's what you kind of need from him at his age. You never know.
Right. Lamar has thrown one little injury and it'll nag and nag and nag.
6 perfect passer ratings now. First, he set the record. I mean, I think we have to start giving him his due. I have always said he can't win in the playoffs, but you have to give him his due. I mean, this dude is playing, balling out. This Ravens team, I mean, they were this close opening week to beat the Chiefs. I mean, just think about what did you really think? They lost. They were up 2 touchdowns and lost to the Raiders, second or third week. So it's like you flip those 2 games. That's the best team in the league right now, and nobody would be arguing with you. So
no, not even a little bit. How do you feel about the Texans? My Lions got to go into Houston Sunday night football.
Texans are so banged up. They got to get Collins back, receiver. Obviously losing Diggs was going to be a Diggs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That might be a team that's looking for a receiver. And the rumor was Olave was going to be on the trade block. Not anymore. Not
anymore. Yeah, right.
Not with that concussion. I don't know who else receiver-wise. There's already been so many receivers kind of how about Waddle or Tyreek Hill?
So Tyreek's ready to roll. Where you know what I mean? He'll go anywhere.
They both got big. I don't know how you would fit it in because they make so much. But
could you imagine Tyreek going back to Kansas City?
No way. First of all,
that can't happen.
They don't have the money. Now, Texans, they haven't paid their quarterback yet. So anytime you don't pay your quarterback,
you got money.
It feels like they should have money. But then they went and got Diggs. So it's I don't know, did they use a bunch of that money?
The rest of the year, yeah.
So to me, it's I don't know. But when you look at the 2 for teams, the Titans, the Patriots are in there, right? The Patriots, they don't have receivers. So it's you go down, there's a lot of them that don't have receivers or already traded them or they're out.
Right.
The Dolphins actually have 2 healthy ones.
Yeah, and that are just sitting there and,
And they're pretty deep at running back. They're not unbelievable, but
they could get some offensive line help in the near future, and the teams could be decent.
The Dolphins,
you trade one of those guys away for a first.
Okay, 2-6 with the 17-game schedule. So you have 9 games left. You can still get to 10 wins. If you're the Dolphins. Do you think the problem is they have a winnable division because they've already played Buffalo twice. So they've got those out of the way. Every game left in the division, they should be favored as long as Tua stays healthy. Is there enough? Because I think 10 wins get you in this year. There's a lot of teams that are mediocre, I think, in the AFC. They're kind of going to be beating each other.
8-9, 9-8.
So it's a tough call when you're a GM and you got 2-6 or 2-7. Most times you're selling at the trade deadline if you can acquire some draft picks and not
unless you think you can make a run. I mean, maybe Miami though. Miami does weird things. I don't think Mike McDaniel is a very good coach. I think he's a good coordinator. I don't know if he's
a great offensive mind. I just you're so tied to your quarterback.
Yeah,
if he stays healthy, this team's above 500.
Sure.
When he's not there, they're below 500 team. I mean, that's just facts. That's probably that way with most teams.
Could you see Miami trading him away too?
Who would want to take that concussion?
Who would want that? Yeah, right. So
I heard some sneaking and I don't know. It's always Steelers fans that the Raiders would want Justin Fields. I'm like, dude, they are not one quarterback away from being good.
Who would they give up?
I don't know.
They don't have anybody to
draft
give up.
Picks, I'm guessing would be the what you would probably.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
because to be honest, the Steelers could use a receiver, but they're not like they could win without the way they are. The Steelers
are winning right now without anybody. I mean, they're 6-2 with Justin Fields, Russell Wilson field. Like that's
a slot guy. That's what they could use. Like doesn't have to be a big name guy. Is Hunter Renfrow healthy? Like that would be a guy that I would think would help them.
I could see that. Guy, right? He's older though. I don't even know if he's still.
Oh, he's not older. He's like 28, 29 probably.
I don't know, he just looks like he's always 45.
Yeah, he looks like he's older, but I don't know. I just think the Steelers aren't one to trade a lot though. That's just facts. They're not a like in-season trade one way or the other.
No, they don't. They're very
I mean, if I had to pick right now,
how do you feel about the Eagles? Do you think they take that division?
Have they played Baltimore yet? I feel like they have not played Baltimore yet. Right?
They have played. Still. So they beat the Packers. They lost to the Falcons. They beat the Saints. They lost to the Bucks. And then now they went on a 4-game win streak: Browns, Giants, Bengals, Jags.
See, the problem is they haven't played Baltimore yet.
Right. So then now their next game is in Dallas, and then Washington, and then Rams, and then in Baltimore. Carolina, Pittsburgh,
I like Baltimore
Washington
to win the division. To be very honest, I just think they're the most complete team. They really don't have a whole lot of weaknesses. Not saying that Pittsburgh has a lot of weaknesses. Now that Russell Wilson's playing, if he could play that level the way he did the last 2 games, they'll be in both of those games. But I think if you had to say who's going to make the mistakes, either Russell Wilson or Lamar Jackson in the regular season, Lamar Jackson's been money as long as he's healthy. So I got to think it goes through Baltimore. In that division. But okay. So started college basketball today.
Yes. I got
kind of exciting. Like the Gonzaga Baylor game, pretty freaking good. Like I actually think Baylor has a shot to win that game. I think 2 of my favorite coaches. I they don't probably get enough credit. I thought when Scott Drew won the championship, I thought, but still then last year it's just like, last few years it's just like, oh well. And he continues to turn out pros. Mark Few, I mean, he still hasn't won the big one. But, I mean, look at what his teams do, especially in the regular season. I think that's going to be a great game to start the year. And then the next week, I mean, we start tournaments, and it's going to be –
it's all over the place.
Yeah. I still think Kansas
basketball just can overwhelm me sometimes so much, especially at the very beginning. Like, I'm really like –
less is more.
50 damn games on, and I'm like, I got to cap these games. And I'm like, oh, no. I just – I stick to
I try to
focus on
just a few.
I go that.
I just kind of focus on a few teams early and try to build as I go on. Less is more is my theory because, right now college football and the NFL still kind of rule the roost 5 days a week. And college football and the NBA, I kind of like, they're still part of my handicapping, but it's like the NBA is much easier because we see these teams, already so many times. Same with the NHL. I feel like you kind of know what they are. And you start to play more like, a team's playing in the 3rd game in 5 days kind of thing.
Right.
Okay.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
College basketball, you don't have that as much because most teams are in very similar rest. And I think the hardest thing about college basketball, same with college football early, is the whole NIL trade deadline or the NIL transfer rules. Like that just throws I think Kansas is the most overrated team in college basketball this year, the number 1 team. Hunter Dickinson, I get all that, but it's like, you look, they have not been a very deep team the last few years. I mean, injuries are really what's cost them the last 2 seasons. They are a little deeper this year, but it's pretty much the same team again. It's the
same team.
Like I like Hunter Dickinson. I think it's hard to win with big guys because he's not a guy that they throw it into every time down and he just punishes like Shaq back in the day.
Shaq,
Shaq. He's out there
Shaq would wear you down.
Like he's shooting threes, letting you off the hook too many times, and then all of a sudden he's coming down and having to guard a guy on the perimeter, and that's not his game. Not saying they're not going to be a good team. I think they're going to be a good team. I just think it's going to be hard to win with that. I think I just feel like it's hard to win with the traditional big guy now. That unless they're going to go in the post and punish teams, and there hasn't been a guy like college basketball that's played that way in 20 years.
No,
just no one.
Not even close. I agree. I'm not on a lot for college basketball today. Like I'm treading lightly, first day, all that, and I'm just gonna, and I'm just gonna kind of.
There's like 5
there's some games I want action in.
There's 5 games that have like power teams.
Interesting.
Teams.
Yeah.
I tell you what, the interesting game you might want to be on USF. They lost their coach. Tragic. I kind of think they play for the coach tonight and come out and win this one. They were really good last year. I think this team was going to be a very solid team this year.
They're playing Florida, right?
I kind of think they might win that game tonight.
Like
were they like a couple point underdog, right?
Wait, hold on.
I thought when I looked at the advanced line after he passed away, I was just kind of looking down through and I was like, oh my goodness. I kind of thought they might cancel this game, to be very honest.
They're getting 10.5, 11.
10.5. Wow.
11's at Bet Rivers if you have that available to you, but most places have 10.5.
I'm just saying, sprinkle a little on the money line there. I could see them definitely covering, but I could see them making that a real fight to the end of that one.
Ooh,
like I said, I think the Texas-Ohio State game, I think I've got a pretty big opinion on that game tonight. It's one of my VIP plays.
Okay.
Most of my action tonight is I've got an NBA best bet. I've got a prop play, rare 5-star prop play in the NFL game. I think this is a very tough NFL game tonight.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I stayed away. I did a small play as a VIP play on the side, or on the total. But I think there's some good prop plays tonight. I like. I'll tell you, my second best prop is Kareem Hunt over his rushing yards.
Okay.
I think the Chiefs are like, hey, our quarterback's throwing the most interceptions in the league the last 20 games or something now.
Right.
This year, it's like we got to stop trying to throw the ball. Let's just run the ball, get in third and short,
ball, man.
Throw it to our tight ends. Let's be more, because if they don't turn the ball over, they win this game. I mean, that's just facts. They win the game.
Fair.
They don't turn the ball over. And I think Kareem Hunt is like, he's kind of turned back the clock a little bit.
He seems to be rolling. I think
he likes playing. Let's think about it. You were with the Browns. First of all, he was the second option for the Browns, not the first option. Also, he was like, Cleveland's. It's been tough up there right now because of the whole Watson thing. I mean, the distractions. So, I mean, it's like all of a sudden now you come to a team where you were before that you had great success on a team that you're kind of just got to get along. You know what I mean? And
you do.
They trust you. I like kind of reborn Kareem Hunt tonight over the rushing yards.
I don't hate him. Anytime touchdowns of another prop I have, just so you know, but just throwing him out there. But I also, just for teaser purposes, I give everybody a teaser on these primetime games. I would take Tampa and I would take under. I would tease it under and I would take Tampa with all the points because you're going to get Tampa.
I will say, you want to say one of the things that, not a teaser, Tampa Bay, when they get down big, because Baker is that guy. I mean, they got down big to Baltimore and it's like,
chuck it.
Oh yeah. Like this dude is, the underdog. Like this is the kind of game you want to play him in. Mm-hmm. If they get down early and then you can get the second half where I could see like they make a comeback and maybe not win the game, but cover the second half. So it might be that you wait till halftime if you want to play the Bucs because
that's fair.
Pretty good. Historically Baker's pretty good when he gets down. So I kind of like that.
He's a comeback guy.
Plus, I think Kansas City's like they're just playing good enough to win games. They don't. They're banged up. They're number. Like they kind of have now that they're undefeated, they've kind of got away with. They got away at the Baltimore win. They got away at the Cincinnati win. Like those should both be losses. This game would mean a little more than. Like they kind of have. I hate to say this, but it's the truth. They kind of have a mulligan in there where it's like they could lose one and it's not the end of the world.
It's not because they're 7-0, right? 7-0, 6-0.
I mean, last year they went on the road, but they do not want to go on the road this year to Baltimore again. I do think Baltimore's built differently with Henry.
I agree.
Weather. Like
they're a better
not
team.
Want to play that guy with Lamar in cold weather in Baltimore this year. And I think Kansas City knows that. They're like, hey, we got to get this. We got to keep the home field. So I do think they win, but it's like I could see that they kind of let it off the gas.
I'll be honest with you as a Lions fan. This is hypothetical and whatever, and I don't want to jinx anything or anything like that. But if the Lions were to make the Super Bowl, I'd rather play the Chiefs than the Ravens.
Oh, 100%. The Ravens are a nightmare.
I'm just telling you right now.
Because all of a sudden, you get Henry running up middle, and you got to commit because the dude's so big. If you don't put a bunch of bodies in there, he'll get you 4 yards every time. All of a sudden, you commit, they pull it out. Lamar's on around the edge, one-on-one. That dude, you're not catching him.
You're beat already. Yeah. You're already beat.
Like it's to beat Baltimore, you got to get up on them early where you can kind of take that run game away. Not saying he's proven he's a great pocket passer, better than what people. His first 2 years he wasn't, but since then he's been great.
He's definitely.
That's the way you want to beat them. You want to make them one. You make every team one-dimensional. You would rather make every team one-dimensional at least. And so to me, how many teams can get up on them though? Like that's the
the Chiefs aren't the score quick kind of team either anymore. They're more of a run first, or they want to be run first, defensive minded team. I can't. I don't know how to, Craig. I don't know how to act. My Lions can do anything they want offensively. I don't know how to. They got to
stay healthy on offense. Somebody, I don't know. Did you see the to get Myles Garrett? What the proposed trade was?
Oh, for Jamari Gibbs and somebody. Yeah, and I'm like,
what? 3 first rounders and a second rounder. I was like, you might give the draft picks up. You're not giving away Gibbs because
no.
To be honest, as good as they are in the pass game, the run game is what makes them. Their two-headed monster running the ball is absolutely like it's.
I don't know if I've seen another two-headed monster like a solid 1A, 1B guy.
You probably got to go back to when the Bengals had James Brooks and Ickey Woods way back in the Super Bowl that year. Like it's like because usually, especially, you don't usually have a big guy, small guy. Maybe Warwick Dunn and Mike Allstott a little bit for a few years. Like you usually don't have that thumper and then have a guy that can just and
just gone.
But they're both very good out of the backfield too, catching the ball. So it makes it like.
Yeah, and I loved when they signed David Montgomery from the Bears. I was like, I thought the Bears. I mean, I know we all know the Bears do Bears things, but I was like, man, you just really let that guy
their most important player though might be Sewell. Like they're
absolutely.
That dude is the best. He's the best offensive lineman in football, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have a guy that basically that side of the line, you're good. You don't have to worry about it.
Yep.
You could always cheat everything to the other side. It makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
To be good.
And that's I think what Aiden Hutchinson brought to the table too is because he was Penei Sewell on the other side of the ball.
Yeah.
And then it's just steel sharpening steel. They're just going at each other every day in practice. It just helps. I mean, I think that defense is better than we thought they were going to. That secondary is young and dumb.
I don't know.
They're going to make some PI calls, and they're going to Terry Arnold's going to have some pass interference calls. But
like, give me you have the Lions schedule in front of you.
Yeah.
Give me the Lions schedule remaining.
Let me see here. Lions right here.
I'll just win losses.
All right, at Houston.
Win.
At home for Jacksonville.
Win.
In Indianapolis.
Win.
At home against the Bears Thanksgiving. They always seem to
win. But I think it'll be close. I think it'll be a lot closer.
It won't be. I don't know. This year we tend
to the Bears offensive line
is embarrass people.
Bears offensive line is terrible.
That's fair. And then we stay at home against Green Bay.
I think that's a loss. I actually think Green Bay's going to get them.
Give them back one. And then we're at home against the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, that's a loss.
I don't know.
I like the way the Bills are playing.
I think we're at home. I think we're okay. And then we go to Chicago, to San Francisco.
Win. Is that the last game of the year?
San Francisco game is December 30th. And no, the week after, January 5th, is the Vikings game. That's the last game of the year.
I actually think they'll win in San Francisco. They might lose that other one because I don't know if that game will mean as much. Like they might already have everything sewn up.
I don't know where you find 2 losses in the rest of the schedule. So
the Bills are going to be tough. The 49ers will be tough. I do think Green Bay and the Vikings. I think all 4 of those are going to be tough games. And I always say you have one. Pretty much every year, every team has one loss that you're like, doesn't make any sense. The NFL, that's just the way it is. It's like, how does, the Patriots beat? Who did they beat?
They just won
2 weeks ago. They beat the Jets, right?
Yeah.
Beat the Jets. It's like, dude, they could play that 10 times. They're not winning more than once, probably. That's just the way the NFL is.
Thing, yeah.
It's like
it is what it is, right?
Sometimes turnovers, and they've been great on the turnover game. So eventually, one game you're going to lose a turnover battle, and usually when you lose a turnover battle, you usually lose the game. But with the 49ers struggling this year, with the Eagles already having a few losses, and I do think Washington and them could split. They're going to have some room for error there at the end of the year where they won't necessarily need. And unlike baseball, where you're trying to get the home field advantage, Super Bowl, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
No home field, or it doesn't matter.
No home field, so you're just going to wherever, So
so I think it's.
Listen, I'm this close to booking my trip to New Orleans. That's where the Super Bowl's at.
I
hope your Bengals get there because I got it on official record that you're buying tickets.
Someone told me a long time ago, you can never go wrong with buying Super Bowl tickets because you can always like get your money back because, like they just, as it gets closer, they just, go up and value.
Yeah, they skyrocket. Right.
Yeah. So it's like, and then if you happen to have a team like the Lions that haven't ever been there, then their fan base are willing to pay whatever.
Oh, they'll pay whatever, whenever.
Like if it's the Eagles, their Eagles fan base will pay whatever. I mean, that's just that they're so.
That's just how they roll.
Yeah. 49ers. You don't think those West Coast people don't mind paying the money?
Probably have to take a home equity line out.
They're not usually as expensive as you think if you don't mind setting up top because I mean they hold 70,000 a lot of times.
I don't care. I don't need to be on the phone, on the road, or I mean, like on the field or whatever.
I don't know. What's the odds? Are they the odds-on favorite now to win it? They got
Super Bowl.
Them Ravens and the Chiefs, I got to think are about the same. Maybe 4-1 to 6-1, maybe those three. And then Buffalo, maybe.
Right. NFL. Futures right here. Super Bowl futures. Kansas City plus 400. This is bet online, so just take it for what it's worth. Baltimore's plus 600, and the Lions are plus 600. And then it's the Bills plus 800, Niners 950, and then the Eagles would be 1,400. Those are your top 6, so to speak. I wouldn't be opposed to sprinkling something on the Washington Commanders at plus 2,200.
I think, like I said, I think this is you should see the Lions in this team where it's like, they've taken up the baby step this year, getting to where they have a chance to make the playoffs. And then the next year, I think they're going to take a big step. One, I think with the new ownership and everything now there, I think a lot of people are going to want to, free agent, and you have a young quarterback, which is always the time you can afford free agents. So, like, I think
absolutely.
That's a team. So I
I hear you.
I'm surprised. I thought I would say if I was setting the odds, I would set all three at 5-1, 6-1, all three of them because I see. I mean,
Kansas City just gets, I think, a little bit more respect because they've been there, done that.
I mean, they're going for 3 too, so it's like
they're going for 3. So other than that, it's 4-6-6. 4-1, 6-1, 6-1. So Buffalo, I think, is about right at 8-1.
I think that's way. Buffalo is playing above their head right now. Like they're playing better than what they're
expected. Yeah.
I think this is a team. I mean, they really should have lost this last week to Miami. But that's what good teams do is you find ways to win. So to me, I think when it comes to playoff time, first of all, if they can get a home game, Buffalo, it changes the game. Winning. Although my Bengals win on Buffalo pretty easily a couple years ago, but it's historically a tough place to play.
Yeah, it ain't easy. That's for dang sure.
All right, I got to get
plug before we get out of here.
What's that?
What do you want to plug before you get out of here?
Make sure you check out my daily video. Mm-hmm. Put it out every night at my channel at Craig's Picks and Parlays. So make sure you check that out, the new channel, and I do stuff here at the Reg Picks and Parlays channel as well. So
absolutely,
got the NBA parlay. Make sure you check it out for today.
All right. I like it. Don't forget to hit the like button, share, subscribe. We're almost at 50,000 subscribers. We need 122 more or something like that. So don't forget, guys, like, share, subscribe. As always, good luck unless you're against us. I'm going to take off. I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's show might be about a half hour late. I got to get my hair cut. Okay. I don't know what to tell you. It is what it is. So instead of 3 o'clock Eastern, we're going to go with 4 o'clock Eastern. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.